You're looking at a load of old mountains in Spain and my new BMW X5. This is the 3-litre diesel turbo 218 engine with a rare 6-speed manual transmission. Over the course of the next few months, I'll be turning this into an off-road vehicle for a rally taking place in Morocco next year. And I won't be alone. I'll be supporting a local madman that's decided to take on the challenge in this. The rally is called the Morocco Challenge and it takes place at the top of Africa in the country of Morocco. It's essentially 7 days of charging through Mad Max scenery, trying not to get stuck and attempting to reach the finish line. And we really do need to reach the finish line because we need to take these vehicles back to where we live in Spain. So join us on this adventure while we get these things rally ready.
Willem, how was the journey, mate?
Ridiculous. 9 Venezuelans in there this morning. Really sorry we don't have seat belts, that the roof's falling off, that the prop shaft's rubbing on the fucking undercarriage.
Were you actually like sunlighting as a genuine taxi driver?
It's
a genuine limo driver?
It's an app. I said to them, do you follow me, or are you just find me naturally on the app? They're like, no, we just want to go to Malaga. And I was like, oh shit. We had to take all the weight out of the back and put it in the front because the drive shaft was rubbing on the floor.
What, because of all the weight of the Venezuelans?
There was 11 people, whatever it was, in the car.
They're bottom heavy.
But they were really
the finest pleatherette that money can buy in here.
With all the fancy bits, look.
What are all these buttons then?
They're all
divider.
This is what I mean. It's got
sunroof.
It's got skylight, but it doesn't have one.
It's got a skylight, but no hole for a skylight. So it's actually an American car, so left-hand drive.
Esto ahora sí parece una limusina, ¿eh?
Ahora sí.
We'll catch up with Gwilym and his progress at the end of this video, but for now, let's take a look at this X5. Spain is absolutely outrageous for second-hand car prices. I got this for €4,500 and believe it or not, that's a couple of grand below the market value for a good example. However, this one does come with some issues, so how bad is it?
That's actually really nice!
Despite this being a big old lump on budget tyres, it actually handles quite nicely. And while the gear changes are a little bit notchier than a modern car, it's a lot of fun to drive, and it's just like driving a 3 Series E46, if you can imagine that wearing a massive puffer jacket with lead weights in the pockets. Driving around these empty windy roads is absolutely fantastic. But calling this X5 really nice might have been a bit over the top. So what's wrong with it?
It doesn't really have any power below 2,500 revs and dies pretty quickly after 3,500. Definitely with some sort of limiter at 4,000. I knew this when I bought the car, when I test drove it. It's got some sort of gas exhaust leak, something or other, coming from the top, around where the turbo is in the manifold.
But now it was time for the big test. What's it like off-road? If it was ever going to face the mountainous sand dunes of Morocco, then it would need to be good off the tarmac. Now the X5 doesn't have a particularly good reputation off-road, but driving it these past few weeks, it made me question, is this the greatest unsung off-road hero of a generation? No, 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 no. It's awful.
Fuck.
And it became shockingly apparent that the four-wheel drive system on this car does not work. When I asked the guy that sold me this car, "Why are you selling it, Miguel?" he said to me,
Hey, look, I just need a real four-wheel drive for the country, man, you know?
"Did you mean a car that actually had a working four-wheel drive system, you cheeky bastard?" I'd promised my girl a pedalo date in the local lake, and instead I'd driven her out to the middle of nowhere and got her stuck in a ditch for over an hour in the baking sun. Thanks, Miguel. Never mind, every cloud has a silver lining, and there is one benefit to not having four-wheel drive.
There's an emptiness I need to fill, and only one emptiness will do. Only a woman can brighten up my day. Only a woman can touch me the right way. Yeah. Only a woman is allowed to touch me there.
No, but seriously, I do really need four-wheel drive. Not just for the rally, but this is my driveway, and trust me, it's steeper in real life. It's commonly referred to as hell. Also, I should note that this is not just a four-wheel drive problem. There's a severe lack of power when you're going from a standstill in first gear.
So currently the car's only rear-wheel drive, and the reason for that is the transfer box is not sending power to the front wheels and making it four-wheel drive. So I ran it through the diagnostics, and I got some errors that suggested that maybe the transfer box actuator needed replacing. So I got a new one for about 110 bucks, and guess what? It didn't make much. So this was just flown into me from China by a kind young gentleman named Andy Wang. And it's a brand new second-hand, refurbished transfer box. And do I know how to fit a transfer box? No. But can I fit a transfer box?
No, you can't.
I hope so, otherwise this is going to be a pretty pointless video. Okay, time to get the prop shaft off. I'm just going to loosen off the prop shaft down here as well. I'm going to have to take this cage off, which goes round the gearbox. It holds the gearbox in place here and the transfer box, which is where this shaft that drives the front wheels comes in here into a spline. Damn, that is a long bolt. You're not going to have a spare one of those hanging around, are you? And that's it, that came off fairly easily, to be honest. Oh, pop it up there. It's a nice little compartment for it there. There appear to be 4 more star bolts. So there's one more at the back here, like on the other side towards the front of the car, which is very tricky to get out. Okay, that was a cracker. And you can see the splits starting to occur between the gearbox and the transfer case, so now I'm going to smash the shit out of it. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh Lord, okay. Look at the difference between these two. Andy Wang's done a brilliant job at cleaning that up. Hopefully he's done just as good a job on the inside. So the transfer box is out and the new one's on the floor ready to go in, but I've got to switch gears now to the performance problems. I've just got an email from a delivery company, a hybrid turbo company, that they will be delivering a new hybrid turbo to me today. Was the turbo the problem? Not necessarily. There's a vacuum line issue in the car. Down here is a vacuum tank. There's nothing connected to either side. there were multiple problems once I took the inlet manifold off. Under here, with just lines loose. There is a line going to the EGR valve, but the EGR valve does not open, it's stuck closed. I've got a blanking kit for that anyway. I took the inlet manifold off, I replaced the gaskets, but I didn't manage to clean it because I didn't have any cleaning products, so I'm going to do that today. The hissing that was coming from the top of the engine was simply that this plastic housing around the air filter and the ducting was cracked. So there was air escaping. So I got a new one of those flown in from Germany, that's been replaced. So that's all sealed up. The exhaust manifold was not a problem. I got halfway through the job, realized it was already cast iron and decided to replace it with the nice shiny one. It took about 8 hours, do not recommend. So anyway, why did I get a hybrid turbo rather than just a normal turbo? Because they are expensive. I'm gonna get the car remapped. Without quite a few other substantial upgrades, I can't really push the turbo to be what it could be, but it does give me the ability to, you know, improve performance in the future should I wish to modify it further. So anyway, let's get to it. We get out these bolts here. You just slip it past. Got a hole in the bloody washer fluid bottle. I don't know why it's so sawdusty and there's like shell and all this kind of crap in here. I use this car every day, and that is the shell of an almond. Like, what is coming into my car every day, bringing almonds in, managing to still live in there? That should then just pop out, and this should lift out without any fuss. What is all this crap? Look at that. That's literal animal shit. With dog hair, my dog's hair in it. So there's an animal or multiple animals living in this engine bay that eat almonds and my dog's shit. Of course, if any of you have ever found almond shells or your dog's shit in your engine bay before, then don't forget to leave a little comment down below.
Oh boy.
Obviously, before you start taking the inlet manifold off, you want to make sure that your engine bay is dog shit and almond nut free. This is a bath I created for the inlet manifold yesterday. Sprayed a load of degreaser in there, some washing up soap. Let's have a look. No, it's still absolutely filthy. I found some old oven cleaner. So with the new pressure tank in place, I'm just routing this new vacuum line down here to this little manifold. Then the blue one is the EGR valve line. Not going to need that anymore, so just pulling that off to the side. And then we've got one black one which needs to go onto here on this manifold. Then I don't know what that one's used for, so I'm gonna have to block that off. I don't have another cap, so I'm just gonna have to come up with a method. And I reckon a little drop of T-Rex crystal should keep it running sweet as a nut for a couple of miles. Look at that, OEM. Oh, fucking hell, really? You must be fucking kidding me. This has been quite a journey to get it to the point where there's only 0.5 mil gap. See, that's getting there super easy. Only thing left to do on this transfer case is to fill it up with some fresh oil. I should note that on the instructions for this pump it says do not use on transmission oil or transfer case oil or any fluid that's explosive. Well, I'm not going to listen to that.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
I'm going to have to feed this like a baby goat. There we go. Suck on the oily teat. Fortunately, I've got a little drop more of this I'm going to go and get, but I don't see how that has sucked up a whole litre. Oh baby, it looks like we might be alright. Come on, dribbling out, that's what we wanted to see. If you're changing the box, then you need just over 1 litre. I just found the sensor off the old actuator. How does this go on? Oh, like a glove. Beautiful. It's the final countdown. Get in there, son. And that's it. I'm done. Transfer case malfunction. ECU functions. Component triggering. Let's try again now there's no errors stored. Calibrating transmission. What is that all about? Why is it doing that? I took it on a test drive last night to pick up a Chinese. It was absolutely brilliant. And the car was really good as well. The turbo pulled, it was fast, but then today, oh my god, it's terrible. It's more underpowered than ever. Charge air tube monitoring and exhaust gas recirculation. Which probably relates to this, yes. It's loose, it's not a seal. Is that the correct way for it to go round? There you go, I got it the wrong way round. That's not going anywhere, mate. While I was waiting for those codes to clear, I picked up some brake cleaner for Gwillem, who I'm about to go and see now and check how he's getting on with the limo. No idea what he needs this for, but it's time for the actual test drive. And I'm praying it drives nicely this time. Wish me luck. Yeah! We're back! We are back and we're bigger than ever! So satisfying that all that work actually paid off to something. God damn, son. Willem.
Let's do it.
So what you've got to do is you've got to put the flammable liquid in the rim and then, set
light
fire
it
to it.
with the compressor connected to it with the air going in. So when it pops, so we wait the compressor to get up to a high pressure.
Sounds safe. Let's do it.
It generally has quite a big explosion.
Oh! Tyres on fire.
It's all right.
Jeez.
Ow. Quite a boom, isn't it? Hurt my ears a little bit.
What have you done down here? Look at this. You've got steel lengths and you've
added a bit of added 2.9 meters to the middle of it.
and like a brace underneath, but that looks like it was off the.
That's the original
off the Chevy
transfer case support.
Oh,
so the
right,
transfer
right,
case
right.
has come further back because we're going to have a little prop from the Ford gearbox to the GMC transfer case.
Right.
So the front prop will be a bit longer. It's 1.8 meters, which isn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then there'll be 3 pieces at the back, 2 support bearings.
How are the ball joints? Ooh, I reckon.
Well, that obviously needs to come.
I
out
reckon
there.
that's got a Morocco trip in it.
Go in the bin, doesn't it? Because obviously this is what's left of the Ford suspension.
Yeah, it's not going to actually sit on that, is it?
No. So this
But
needs.
that's all sweet as a nut down there.
Some of
isn't it?
this is going to have to be cut out probably.
Right.
And the steering column has to come.
Well, otherwise,
to
it's going to hit on it on big bumps.
This might, on full lock, might rub. Yeah. We don't want that, especially with 37s on it, because it's obviously had 35s on it before. So.
Right.
We will see.
So it turns out you're not supposed to drive your X5 in rear-wheel drive like a complete prick for 2 months because there are consequences. This is me catastrophically broken down on the side of a cliff. If you'd like to see me fix this and do a few more upgrades to the X5, join me in the next episode. Peace!